From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Shakeup for UNC men's basketball continues as Caleb Love hit the transfer portal on Monday, and I'm sure UNC fans didn't love to hear that news. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Olivia Mundorf.
And I'm Joshua Dolgoff. Thanks for joining us. Coach Davis clearly has some work to do in the portal this spring. But first, let's talk women's lacrosse as they have a huge game on the road this weekend. On Saturday, the women's lacrosse team will travel to South Bend, Indiana for their first matchup against a ranked team since their loss at Northwestern. UNC will be looking toward junior Caitlin Wurzberger and freshman Marissa White to earn some early points for the Heels, as both members of the duo have scored in every game so far this season. Fans will also be watching to see if Wurzberger tallies 3 more assists, which would move her into a tie for 7th all-time in career assists. Casey Choma is Notre Dame's leading scorer. Defensive stars Brooklyn Walker-Welch and Emily Knowles will have to stay tight on Choma, who is coming off a 5-point game against Brown, to make sure she doesn't get to the back of the cage. The matchup on Saturday will be a good one for sure. The number 12 ranked Fighting Irish are undefeated at home, and with North Carolina headed into the last 5 games of the regular season, their winning mentality is going to need to stay the same. With more on how the Heels plan to dominate, here's women's lacrosse analyst Caroline Jaffa. Caroline?
Well, Joshua, last time the two teams played each other during the ACC tournament, the score is 14-13 win for UNC, and this was the only close game the Heels saw in tournament play until the semifinals of the NCAA tournament in Baltimore last year, and it started off pretty rough, according to Jenny Levy. During a 5-0 scoring streak, Notre Dame looked like UNC. It was kind of weird. So the speed from MK Doherty, quick pass to Maddie Moat, then the goal from Doherty is straight out of Carolina's playbook. Like, it all stemmed from the loss of draw control you see right here from Allie Mastroeni. But Sophie Student has been great, helping UNC average more than 15 per game so far this season. So when they played Virginia, one thing the Cavaliers did to shut down the Fighting Irish was not let Notre Dame's scrappy fouls get in the way of scoring. You have to fight through. So Ain Masker was there at the right time and even hit Morgan Schwab in the face. So you're going to be able to see the physicality, but Morgan Schwab gets past the goalie and you can see the physicality. But to beat a top 15 team, you have to come ready.
Caroline, I know you said that the game turned out to be close. What can the defense do this time around to prevent another flurry of Fighting Irish goals?
Well, Joshua, without Taylor Marino, who had her 2 best games of the season against Notre Dame, UNC might not have moved into the finals of the ACC tournament without her last year. Alicia Nicholas has to continue to communicate with what I like to call the Fierce Four, her defensive stars, to force Notre Dame to have a slow start. The Irish have totaled 30 more shots in the first quarter than any other quarter so far this season. So there's no time for defensive rustiness by UNC.
And let's hope Riley Casey can do her part running the offense. She currently leads the team in assists with 27. Thanks, Caroline.
Men's lacrosse attackman Logan McGovern has been named to the USILA Team of the Week for the 2nd time this season. The graduate student received this recognition following a 12-point performance in 2 games. McGovern scored 8 goals and had 4 assists in the games against High Point and Providence. McGovern is also the only Tar Heel to score in every game this season. From one 2-time national championship winner to another, Austin O'Connor is the ACC Co-Wrestler of the Year. O'Connor and Pitt's Nino Bonacorsi represented the ACC with undefeated national championships in their respective weight classes. This season, O'Connor went 23-0, including 7 major decisions and 4 technical falls. O'Connor becomes just the 2nd UNC wrestler and the 7th in ACC history to win the award multiple times.
Coming off an ACC championship sweep and 2 national championships, junior Aranza Vasquez is being awarded for her accomplishments. Vasquez is one of 4 finalists for the 2023 Honda Sport Award for swimming and diving. She is the CSCAA Diver of the Year after winning her national titles. Vasquez is an 8-time All-American diver and a 5-time NCAA medalist. The Honda Sports Award winner will be announced later this week. While UNC fans were filled with an array of emotions following Caleb Love's decision to enter the transfer portal, they have some new hope. Paxton Wojcik is the new face on the block for the Heels. The graduate transfer from Brown averaged nearly 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists a game last season. Knocking down 38% of his threes, fans hope his confident shooting stroke can bring the Heels some much-needed buckets next season. The softball Tar Heels took on the ECU Pirates for a midweek game Wednesday night. While the Heels were coming off a win last Sunday, the momentum didn't swing in their favor. Despite 8 hits, including a late rally, UNC fell 8-4. The weekend series starts this afternoon in Charlottesville against UVA at 2.
This weekend, the Diamond Heels will look to move up in the ACC standings when they travel to Indiana to face Notre Dame for a 3-game series. Carolina's offense continues to give opposing pitchers nightmares as they've scored 5 or more runs in each of the past 9 games. Tomas Frick ranks second in college baseball with 14 doubles, and Mac Horvath has been ripping the cover off the ball with 13 home runs, good for 6th in the nation. Scott Forbes will be relying on his bullpen to bounce back from a midweek meltdown against Coastal Carolina if he wants to emerge with a series victory. At least one Tar Heel has been selected in the MLB draft for 45 consecutive seasons. In yesterday's opening day, 13 former Diamond Heels took the field across the country. Zach Gallen, who went pro after his junior year at UNC in 2016, was the opening day starter for the Arizona Diamondbacks, his first time with this honor after coming off of a Cy Young caliber season, boasting a stat line of a 2.54 ERA and a 12-4 regular season record. Behind the plate, Carolina fans can see Jacob Stallings in Miami. During the 2022 season, the catcher played in 114 games and had a .223 batting average. Other players to look out for include Sky Bolt, now with the Milwaukee Brewers, and Brendan Little, playing for the Chicago Cubs. Vance Honeycutt and Mac Horvath aren't the only ones hitting homers on campus this season. UNC club baseball team is also lighting up the diamond. Brendan Lunga has the story.
Every day at 4:30, the UNC club baseball team practices on the turf of Hooker Field. The team allows men like Jake Rouse, who has played the game since he was 6 years old, to continue to play the game they love at the University of North Carolina.
People will see our uniforms and really, I'd be really interested in about it's kind of like what we do with UNC. It's like a nationally known university, so really cool to be able to wear those letters across our chest.
Rouse was recently elected co-president alongside Cameron Wade. Wade is a pitcher for the team and leads the conference with 3 wins. He's one of 4 members of the team to have earned Conference Player of the Week honors this season. While he thinks even more UNC players should have been honored, he's glad that the team is being recognized.
There's multiple guys that definitely deserve it more, but it's something nice to go on a resume and makes the team look even better. So
the team is currently second in the Mid-Atlantic South Conference, with 3 series remaining, including 2 against rivals Virginia and NC State. The team hopes to continue to build on its success and wrap up the year with rivalry victories.
Oldest rivalry in the South, club baseball. It'll be a lot of fun. This team is pretty good. They're still technically not a conference team, but they're in our division. So, games against them that we can win are huge. If we can keep our record up, there's a chance that we can really make the playoffs this season and, make a good run going into the summer.
Having won a national championship back in 2007, the team will look to continue the program's historical success. I'm Brendan Lunga reporting.
It's great to see the Diamond Heels having success on the club level all the way to the MLB, and I know I'm looking forward to watching them the rest of the way this season.
Last night, the gymnastics team took on Arizona in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, the Gym Heels lost in every event except vault and fell to the Wildcats. For more about what went wrong for Carolina, let's go to our gymnastics analyst, Lee Jeffries, who has been following the team all season. Lee, what happened?
Joshua, the Heels had the higher score of the 2 teams on beam and tied the Wildcats on vault, but it was on floor where the Heels really fell behind. Their score almost 1.5 points below the Wildcats. Brianna Greenlow received a 9.0 on floor. Here's her first pass. Greenlow comes out of her pass with her chest down, causing her gravity to shift backwards in a huge step out. Then for her final pass, which is a double salto, Greenlow is going to buckle out of her 1.5. She can't get the full rotation on her front tuck, which causes her to fall. But despite this loss, Lolly Decanoiser had a great showing in Denver. During her bar routine, Decanoiser completes 2 giants to build momentum for her double layout. Here, she lands with her feet glued to the mat. The UNC program record holder led the way on bars with a meet high of 9.9. This was a sophomore's 10th score at or above the 9.9 threshold this season. Then on vault, Decanoiser once again posted the meet's highest score, earning a mark of 9.85. She's the real deal. Joshua?
Lee, that might have been the end of the season for this team, but which events will Lolly and Julia compete in as they continue their postseason run?
Joshua, tonight in the second round of regionals, Decanoisa will rotate with Denver on both vault and bars, and Nowhere will be paired with Arizona for all 4 events.
Well, we will be watching. Thanks, Lee.
After a 4-game road series, the UNC women's tennis team will be back in action in Chapel Hill against Florida State later today. The doubles pairing of Elizabeth Scotty and Reese Brantmeyer will look to continue their hot streak after not dropping a game in their matchup versus Syracuse. The Heels will look to Abby Forbes to bounce back after a 3-set singles loss last weekend in hopes to keep a 22-game win streak alive. For more about the dominance of the women's tennis team, here's tennis analyst Kyle Lobenhofer. Kyle?
Olivia, it is no secret that the UNC women's tennis team is the best in the country. The team is ranked #1 and is currently undefeated. And it's hard not to be this dominant when you are playing the greatest roster ever assembled, with 5 players ranked in the top 25. Now, although singles is the biggest part of a collegiate tennis match, I want to talk today about the doubles point. Even though it's only worth 1 point and singles is worth up to 6 points, the doubles point sets the tone for the match. Starting singles with a 1-0 lead can make a huge difference. And I want to talk about how just absolutely unfair the duo ranked 13, Elizabeth Scotty and Reese Brantmeyer is. Keep in mind these clips I'm about to play are running at 75% speed because the pair ends their points faster than I can say Scotty and Brantmeyer. Here in our first clip, Brantmeyer puts her serve too far to her opponent's backhand and it's completely unreturnable. So the UNC duo gets out to a quick 15-love lead. On the very next point, Brantmeyer once again serves directly down the tee too far to her opponent's forehand on a ridiculous corner placement. However, on this one, her opponent is at least able to get it back over the net, but it's right to Elizabeth Scotty, who sends that ball right back harder than LeBron James in Game 7 of 2016, 30-love. Scotty and Brantmeyer went on to win this match 6-love and clinch the doubles point. They never let their opponent claim a single game, and it's very easy to see why with clips like those. Carolina now enters the final stretch before the postseason. The last 5 matches of the season before the ACC tournament are in Chapel Hill, with 2 this weekend, Florida State today and Miami on Sunday. There's only a few chances left to get to see this team demolish opponents, so I hope to see you all there. Olivia?
Kyle, is there anything else that fans should keep an eye on during these last final matches?
As a matter of fact, Olivia, there is. The Cone Kentfield Tennis Center outdoor court renovations are officially done, and the team will be back on these courts for the rest of the season. So if getting to watch the talented team steamroll any school in their way wasn't enough of an incentive to come out to a match, fans should go check out these awesome new courts. Tonight should be a fun one with the women's team playing in the afternoon and the men's team taking the court right after against NC State. Olivia?
Thanks, Kyle.
Last Saturday, the UNC men's club rowing team secured 2 gold medals in its first regatta of the season and is looking to turn this promising start into long-term success. Eric Haynes has a story.
Before dawn breaks over Chapel Hill, men's club rowing takes to University Lake to begin training. Third-year head coach Austin Work says most of the team's 47 athletes got their first rowing experience with the program.
99% of our team are walkouts. Literally 99% of the people who come out down here have never seen a boat before, never seen an oar before, and have no previous experience.
Club rowing has 2 levels, varsity and novice. All first-year rowers are eligible to compete as novices. After the first year, every athlete is considered varsity status. No matter the level, novice Noah Patterson says the whole team has one mission.
Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, everyone feels pretty tight-knit and together. We all have one goal, and that's kind of, to help this team win.
The team will compete in 5 regattas during the 2023 season, facing off against members of the American Collegiate Rowing Association. Work says cross-training has been crucial in preparing for their schedule.
Everybody recognizes that we're trying to make boats move fast, but within those boats are engines, and those engines are the human bodies, and the human bodies need to be trained on land. And so we do that in the weight room twice a week. We do that on the rowing machines twice a week. And during the wintertime, we do that in the yoga studio, and we do that in the pool.
Patterson says varsity members played a big role in helping him adapt to the practice regimen.
They'll help you out regarding scheduling, regarding nutrition, regarding, sleep habits. They're very welcoming in the sense that, they want you to be in the best shape that you can be, because if you are, then, you're holding the other guys accountable.
With their hard working and welcoming culture, Work is confident about the program's future.
I have a feeling that over the next 3 years, University of North Carolina men's rowing is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
UNC men's rowing will be back in action on April 8th for the George Washington Sprints in Washington, D.C. I am Eric Haynes, reporting.
And they aren't the only team gliding across the water this spring. The women's varsity rowing team is competing as we speak at the Sunshine State Invitational in Florida, which kicked off at 9 this morning. As the football team continues spring practices, expectations are high for the season this fall. While it might be too early to pinpoint standout players, coaches are certainly making note of the added energy and skills that new recruits are already bringing to the team. The Heels have raised the bar on both sides of the ball, as leaders on the team say that effort and physicality are non-negotiable every day in practice. Players and coaches hope this new standard, along with the incoming recruits, will mean big things for the team this fall.
Time again, there was times where like we would be in the game, but we just couldn't finish as a defense. And so I feel like right now, man, that just gives me a lot more motivation as a player, and just being amongst the leader of the defense is just like, we got to learn how to finish, man.
The spring game is 2 weeks from tomorrow, April 15th. Drake May and the boys seem ready to get the party started.
Number 4, UNC men's golf will travel to Naples, Florida for the Calusa Cup in a 3-day tournament from Sunday to Tuesday, looking for its 5th title of the season. Carolina's impressive duo of David Ford, the 5th-ranked men's amateur in the world, and Austin Greaser, who's coming off of a top 10 finishes earlier this week at the Valspar Collegiate Invitational. On April 22nd, students and Chapel Hill community members will be lacing up their sneakers to take on the 16th annual Tar Heel 10-miler. Caroline Rouse has the story.
This race takes runners on a path through Chapel Hill, passing through historic neighborhoods and past iconic campus locations. This event is popular and attracts people from all across campus and from the town. Kate Schultz, a member of the club running team and second-year Tar Heel 10-miler participant, recalls the sense of community she felt during the race.
I did it last year and it was super fun. It was very encouraging to see the whole UNC community come out and support one another.
It also attracts new runners. Hannah Musa is doing her first long-distance run with the 10-miler.
I think for someone like me who's never run probably more than 5 miles before signing up for the race, it definitely was a bit of a mental block. But once you start just amping up your mileage by a mile a week, which is what we've been doing, you feel confident. And once you hit 7, I know I can do 10, so I'm feeling good.
With a bit more practice, prep time, and community support, they'll be off to the races in April. I'm Caroline Ralph, reporting.
Wait, how did we get out here? I don't know. I'm used to being in the control room during this, but I guess we got to close out the show somehow.
Well, it works out for me because I'm entering the transfer portal to get on the anchor desk. But don't worry, it might be April Fool's, but Olivia and Joshua, they're not touching any of the equipment.
Never. We wouldn't even dare do that. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra. We may not be back out here, but the whole show will be back on Monday with all of the highlights from another exciting weekend in Carolina athletics.
And in that case, take the spot cam. Put up those credits.